Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Hey, welcome to the show. We got an action-packed show tonight. Hope we can get it all in, because you guys been writing in saying you want a coverage on some sprint cars. We got one of the best, Damian Gardner, coming up. Also got Paul Lee, funny car driver for McLeod Clutches, and if we can squeeze it in, we're going to get Robert Hyde in there. But I got Bob Beck over here, and hey, a lot of people are calling in saying he looks like Grizzly Adams. It is Bob Beck. Bob, what are you covering tonight?
We're going to do some pickups.
Pickups like Sunset Boulevard and Hollywood and Vine, or
okay, that'll work
okay.
too. Yeah, but no, we're going to do nice old school pickup trucks.
Okay,
the following presentation is rated R all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, we'll edit that later. We're not live, right?
No.
Hey,
Just
Scott
between you
Lucky
and me.
Hudson's on the show tonight.
Yeah, that's right. And Bob looks like Grizzly Adams. I just look like Grizzly.
Gristle.
Gristle. I like a little gristle and grits.
Hey,
Wait, listen, I got to tell you, we got a lot going on tonight. We got a great show. We're going to talk to an artist, a singer, and a racer named PJ North. PJ will be performing at the Bristol, Tennessee Spring Fling. Here's kind of some of the music that he's been performing, and he's going to do that. He also has some songs especially about drag racing.
Rocket!
Drag racing in the lyrics, and we're going to talk about that. We want to remind everybody, NMCA West is coming up a week from this weekend. Big race at Pomona. We're going to be talking about that with Cami Edelbrock. She'll be live in studio. I guess we were nice enough to her. She decided to come on back. And also, the same weekend, if you're on the other side of the country, we're going to go coast to coast. If you're in West Coast, you go to Pomona. If you're East Coast, you go to Orlando, and you check out Florida Street Outlaws, May 17th at Orlando. The Florida Street Outlaws has their top 10 list. They've already established it at the first race of the year, and there's a whole bunch of racers lining up that want to get on the list.
Hey, Lucky, you mentioned in studio next week Cami Edelbrock. Last week, we want to make sure we give big old thanks to Brett Wagner, Big Schwag, who was in studio last week to help us kick off an episode. Well, man, it must have been close to 30 minutes with John Force.
Yeah, it was a great interview.
That really was.
Can you imagine those two together? Could anybody get a word in edgewise?
And why would you want to?
No.
I mean, it's a party in a box right there.
Exactly.
And everybody said that the High School Drag Challenge was a huge hit.
Good.
Had a great time. Good turnout. Charlie Harmon did an excellent job of organizing it. And, I'm looking forward to more of that because they got a ton of kids involved. They've got more kids now that have heard about it that said, hey, we heard you had a great event. We want to be in on the next one.
That is cool because, well, as we discussed last week, the future of everything, including drag racing, is with the Ute.
The Utes?
That's right, the Utes,
You
baby.
got to get the Utes there.
We'll check in with PJ North later. But Donnie, you got a great guest tonight. One of the best in the business, I hear.
Hey, USAC CRA champion Damian Gardner. Damian, welcome to Speed Scene Live. Finally got you in studio.
Yeah, it's good to be on the show. Heard all about it. I didn't believe you had a show, and I finally came here, and I've seen it live for live. Huh?
Yeah. That's just because I get free pit passes. There's no film.
That's what I thought when you called me. That's all you wanted was free pit passes.
Yeah, there's no film in the camera at all. But, hey, you started out the year good. I think you've won every race except for the last one. Maybe we'll go into that later.
Donnie, you don't have to bring that up, okay? He's a champion.
Well, he finished second, but
long legacy. And what do you bring up? The one race that he thinks
So Donnie is. He's going to bring me down just a little bit.
Well, you got to. The guy's class of the field out there, very impressive. And what I like about Damian, he's helping some of the youth come up too. We talked about, John Force and the Big Schwag out there helping the youth. Damian helps some of these kids with these cars and coaches them and helps helps them set up their cars. Damien, you're pretty involved. How long have you been running the sprint cars?
Oh, yeah, I've been in sprint cars around 15 years, and I've been running the non-wing cars for maybe say 10 years or so. So I've been doing it quite a while, and kind of getting around there pretty good these days.
I think so. 4 championships.
4 championships is nothing to sneeze at. Now,
No.
Donnie and I have both driven sprint cars just a handful of times, nothing like you. But it's such a weird feeling as you see these guys go around the corner. You guys are all sliding out of control, it appears, in racing. But really, you guys are in complete control, and you're all synchronized perfectly. That is quite a talent that you have to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feel, definitely different than drag racing. But we slide through the dirt. It's kind of like drifting a little bit, but a little bit more out of control, and it's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of years to learn how to do it well. But we're fortunate to be running there at the front these days.
Man, the straightaways are awfully short. It looks like. Do you ever actually fully straighten the wheels out?
Yeah, I mean, Paris is a relatively big track there, the one that you were showing there. It's relatively big, so you go down the straightaway for a little ways. We'll go to Ventura next week for a big show there, and that's a really little track. I mean, that's probably one of the smallest ones we run, so there'll be times during the night when we really won't get straight at all. We'll be turning the whole way around the track, and that's going to be a tight, hairy race, and definitely one to go see because it's going to be a little bit of bang 'em up. So,
All right, how did you get started in this? I mean, you didn't go right into sprint cars, did you?
No, I mean I raced for dwarf cars for a little bit, little cars there, and then moved into some just some crash 'em up street stock stuff for a little bit, just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I saw some wing cars up north. That's where I'm from, up north, Concord, California, and we got going in that for a while, and then came down and ran SCRA for first time, and it just fit me. I got going in with the non-wing car pretty well, and took it from there, and that's per se where I just started making a mark.
Man, I think that Ventura track's been around a while. I hope my memory is correct here, but I was at an event, a radio station event, like 15 or 20 years ago with Larry Huffman, the famous announcer.
Larry, yep.
Yeah, and he was up there doing the track announcing, as the celebrity announcer.
You remember his favorite quote, right?
I don't know if I do.
Do you want plastic or paper with that?
No, it's... we're going to sell you the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
So that's where that came from.
That's right.
Yeah.
Huffman.
Yeah.
He did the Boot Barn commercials.
Yeah, he was doing Chrysler for a while too. In fact, I remember it was he and they had for whatever reason there was a pig parked
really?
right
What
next
was
to
her
him
name?
doing
Well, now this we'll get back on track here.
What? There's a show happening?
Damien, this weekend you're going to be at the Ventura track, right?
Yeah, this week we'll be back in Ventura.
Beautiful facility right next to the ocean. I went there one time. I took Corey Kruzman's class, and as you park in the parking lot, you can see the ocean, and really a great place. Good air, so the cars make a lot of power there.
Yeah, no, it's a good little track. Like I say, it's not as high as speeds as say as Paris, but it's definitely going to be a wheel banging, action packed night because it's going to be close racing. There should be a lot of good cars. Our buddy Mike from Surf and Sprint, he's putting on the event, or he's helping put on the event there, and he's big into the racing deal, and he's been helping out a lot. So it's they're trying to we haven't been there since I think 2005, so it's the first time for the 410 sprint cars to go back there. So
Damien,
it should be good.
You run I think 43 races this year on the USAC CRA.
Yeah, USAC CRA is going to be about 30, and then I'll do outside events that'll be 10 or 15 more. So we'll be up around 40 to 50 races after the year's over.
Wow, a lot of wear and tear on the equipment. I know you got a good crew, and I know you had a nice little brand new car sitting on the side of the trailer ready to go out there. You haven't had to pull that out yet, have you?
No, after this last weekend, we're gonna have to pull it out. We
bent some pipe up.
We bent some pipe up. We were able to finish, but we bent up the tubing. So, the guys over at the Alexanders, I'm sure they're listening right now, and Alexander Racing, and they're probably working on it as we speak. Probably a little bit upset because I'm sitting here and they're working hard.
Well, I witnessed them at the Paris race I went to, and you qualified number 1. You won the race. You got a great professional crew, first-class operation over there.
Yeah, no, those guys are good, and Kenneth Scott-Sales makes it all happen for us all, and I could be driving for a better team right now.
Now let's take we're going to change gears. We're going to shift over to PJ North, but before we do, I would like to put a big thank you out there to Loud Pedal Productions for supplying this great video, really good video. You can check out their stuff at loudpedalvideo.com. Really nice stuff. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of people that are good about productions, that are great about video, I'd like to welcome to the show PJ North. PJ, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. This is awesome.
Well, we don't often have, musical artists on the show. We're all about racing. However, you are a racer. You do drive race cars, and you're involved in drag racing. Tell us a little bit about your drag racing before we get into your music.
Yeah, right now I'm big into stock eliminator within the divisional and national event series. I got an 88 Oldsmobile Cutlass with a 307. I drive an L-Stock automatic. So I'm big into that. I got a Super Street Chevelle that I drive as well. So I've been doing this for this will be my 15th year in drag racing.
15.
I grew up around it. I started when I was 10 years old, so it stuck with me, and I was able to find my niche and combine the two passions. So yeah.
We're watching your video. You're only 15 years old now.
I know, right? That baby face.
I thought that was a Justin Bieber video.
It's
Sorry.
funny that you say that. I lost a bet at work, and so I wasn't able to shave for 3 weeks. And I had more girls come up to me and say, "Wow, you look a lot older." I was like, "What are you trying to say? I look like I'm 18 before." They were like, "Well, we thought 17," but I was like, "Well, I appreciate that."
Well, Bruce, why don't you bring up the music for a second? Let's give everybody a taste of one of your songs. This is called "L.A. to Paris."
Yeah, L.A. to Paris was something that we did. I started, the original hook of the song is famous by John Denver. I'm leaving on a jet plane. And it kind of came to me one day. I was working on it, and the whole point of the video is kind of the opposite of every, a lot of music is, the guy leaves the girl, and we wanted to do something opposite where the girl's always leaving the guy. So it was a really cool video we came up with. This came out with my first CD that I released in 2012. Called Always Looking Up, which you can get, thepjnorth.com. You can download it for free. So yeah, this is, like I said, this is more of my pop, top 40 type style, hip hop and popular music. I kind of combine all the music that I listen to into one. And this is, like I said, more of the mainstream music that I've done.
Well, let's try out your other song, which is more drag racing related, which is the double. I call it the double O song. What's the actual title?
Yeah, it's hashtag BOO take double O.
And we found we had a chance to listen to this, and it's great. It's, the more I listen to it, the more I like it, and I love the fact that you put all these drag racing references in. Taking the stripe, cutting the light, all these things that you work into the lyrics.
Yeah, it's funny. I was sitting at the Columbus Divisional here at Trails, and a buddy of mine, Craig Marshall, comes up to me, and they, like I said, they all know I do some music stuff. He comes up to me, he's like, "Man, we need to do a racing song." And we're sitting in the middle of a rain delay, and I'm like, that's not a half bad idea. So a couple months later, it came to fruition, and I became very good friends with Brian Whitworth, BW Promotions. And he had this thing called BOO Take Double O. And I said, man, I just wrote a song after I heard about what you were doing. We got linked up, and he fell in love with the music, and it's turned out great. I was able to, reference a lot of my favorite racers, a lot of friends of mine who have helped me through over the years, and people that I've looked up to, big money bracket racers and stuff like that. So it was really, really cool to do something that was racing and my music. I was able to combine both passions of mine, the only two things that I have love for. So I was able to do this song, and it's turned out really good. I've gotten a great reception from the drag racing community.
Yeah, people really like it, and they're downloading it off of YouTube or off of iTunes and your site. It's available. People can buy it and download it. Now, not this weekend, but next weekend, you will be performing live on stage at the Spring Fling Bristol, Tennessee, and you're going to do all this music at the race, and man, that's got to be an exciting opportunity for you.
Yes, this is going to kick off kind of our, I started Sunday with kind of a kickoff of a little summer tour that I'm doing all over at a bunch of different races, and I got to give a big shout out to Kyle Seipel and Pete Biondo and the whole BracketRaces.com team for getting a hold of me and saying, hey, we want to have you down here for the Racer Appreciation Party. Come on down here. What can you do? I said I would love to come down and perform and DJ, and I'm going to do all types of stuff. I'm going to get to play all my music. I'm going to get to share, the 2 drag racing songs that I've done with these people, and I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a great time. The Spring Fling is the most fun you'll ever have losing will be at the Spring Fling. I'll guarantee you that.
That's a good way to look at it,
Now, are you going to be singing and driving or just singing?
Well, you never know. I'm going to be racing Wednesday through Sunday. Man, this is the first time they've had a 5-day. For the Spring Fling, so it's going to be awesome. There's going to be hundreds and thousands of people there. It's going to be crazy. And so Saturday night's going to be the Racer Appreciation. So come out, if you live in Tennessee and you're close, come out. If you don't want to race, come out and check the music out. We're going to have a huge party. It's going to be a really good time. I'm going to be racing. I don't know the car yet. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out, which car I want to take. The Cutlass isn't quite as competitive enough to race with some of those hitters that I mentioned in the songs, but we're gonna be racing, so we're pretty excited about the whole thing. It's gonna be awesome.
Now, people can follow your career at thepjnorth.com. That's your website. And, of course, you've got Instagram and you've got everything. Yep. And then if you go to Facebook and if you go to YouTube, there's some of your music on there as well. And the L.A. to Paris video, really a nice job on that. Great production value.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, it came to fruition. It was really cool. I've had a lot of friends help me out. A friend of mine let me use her bar so we could shoot some scenes. 2 of my closest friends let me use their apartment so we could do that. There it is, thepjnorth.com. It's a really cool experience. I'm very excited about it. A lot of stuff has happened ever since I did this music thing. I've had a hard time trying to find my outlet for people. So this has been great. Like I said, people have really reached out to me. Instagram, has been really big. Twitter as well, Facebook, like you said. And then thepjnorth.com came together this year. I was able to get a blog together, talk about some of the shows I've done, and I do some New Music Monday stuff, as well as just post, interesting things that I see going on and different stuff that I've done. So very exciting stuff going on right now. We're going to be playing, like I said, we're going to play in Bristol. I'm going to be playing in St. Louis. We're going to be playing in outside of Detroit, Michigan. We're going to be playing in Canada. So I'm very excited to do this little summer tour. I've been able to implement, kind of incorporate my music with my racing, and it's going to be exciting summer. And you guys are the kickoff. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, well, that's great. We're happy to do it. I'm wondering if there's other tracks out there that are going to have events that would like to have somebody like you come out and perform. Are you available? Are you open to that?
I am fully available. I grew up in my first big money bracket race was at Tom Stalba's event, what used to be called the AA Auto Salvage Race at ATCO, and it was like $25,000 a day to win. It was the coolest thing I've ever experienced. I'm 18 years old. Me and my dad went out there, and I was like, this is awesome. This is a big party, man. It's 4 days of partying, and they got a bar at the racetrack. And I thought to myself this summer, I'm like, man, how cool would it be to get to some of these places and tracks that I've never been to? I've been all over racing, in Idaho and Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, everywhere. But how cool would it be to play music there along with racing with these guys? And hopefully, if that comes, I'm open. They can give me a shout-out, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to get a hold of me. I'm definitely available. That would be awesome.
Nice. And where's the best place to buy your music? iTunes?
Yeah, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. Those are the best places to get it. You can search PJ North. And like I said, I have music for everybody, even if you're not a drag racer specific. There's a lot of types of music on there. I wanted to add a kind of different flow so that everybody could see all the types of things that I can do. I'm working on a country album right now as well. So, a ton of music's out there for me, and I'm very excited to share it with everybody. And this has been a great outlet for it. So hopefully everybody will go buy it. Like
Nice.
I said, iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play.
I highly recommend it. Great music. PJ, thanks so much for being on Speed Scene Live, and good luck at the Spring Fling. I know you're going to be a big hit in all your other adventures, and we're going to continue to follow your career. And Bruce, let's say goodbye to PJ, but why don't you bring up the music just a little bit? And PJ, thank you so much for allowing us to interview you on Speed Scene Live. And
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Everything you guys are doing, this is, we're just trying to make drag racing cool again, bring it all back. So you guys are doing a great job. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And good luck to everything. If you guys ever want to call me again, let me know.
you got it, PJ. Talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. All right, see ya.
You know, he's a great singer. He's got great arrangements. He's got good music. He's got a good variety. Sounds great. Bruce, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Hot Rod Bob Beck with the Great American Auto Scene, and Donnie Couch is going to talk to Damien about a little adventure involving a lot of salt. And we're not talking margaritas.
No?
No. Well, maybe that too.
We can't talk about it then.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's All-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
I'm Robert Height, driver of the Auto Club Ford Mustang Funny Car, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.
You found us once more, haven't you? Haven't you? Speed Scene Live. I'm Bruce Barker. There's that Bob Beck guy. There's that Lucky Hudson guy. There's that Donnie Couch guy. And there's that Damien Gardner guy.
Wow, the lighting's so nice tonight. I don't know what happened.
We're not even orange.
Wow.
Well, we're not orange? I better get to work.
Oh, no.
Hey, we get a lot of people saying, hey, you don't have sprint car guys on, so we got Damien Gardner. Kept getting a bunch of emails and stuff. Hey, how come you don't do the salt flats in Bonneville?
Yeah,
well,
why
we
don't
do.
you?
We got Damien Gardner. He's got a little deal going on.
He's ambidextrous.
Took his sprint car to Bonneville last year, trying to go 200.
You know what? There aren't any other sprint cars at
Sideways?
Bonneville, are there?
There's actually one other guy. I think a guy named Mike Cook has a nostalgia.
Yeah,
sprint
Mike
car.
Cook, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So he
that's
has a
not
nostalgia sprint car, and he's been going there for a few years, I think.
that's not a normal thing. I mean, everybody has these dragsters and swoopy things, right?
Yeah, most of them are pretty long. As soon as you go there with the short sprint car, they immediately.
What's the
jump.
wheelbase on that, Damien?
It's 90 inches, and the first thing they do
90
is try to talk you into making it longer.
My kid's wagon is 90 inches.
Yeah.
And how much horsepower is in 90 inches?
It's like 900 horsepower.
Wow, we're looking at it right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I like it, Damien. You kept the look of a sprint car. You
Yeah.
didn't stretch it all out and put wings all over it. It looks pretty tricky.
Kind of a blunt nose, though, on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff we had to learn as we went along. We had, like you see Maxwell there, Steve Watt there in Ventura. He helped us, put the idea together. And then we went up to Victory. Ron Williams up there, big drag race guy there. He helped us build the body, and there's some things we had to go there and we had to learn. Obviously the blunt nose. it turned out, maybe not be quite the way to go. So we're going to redesign some things this year. I'm actually been all week up with their Victory and doing some work there. So we're, it's gonna have a new look for next year. I'm excited for this year.
So you only went the one time to Bonneville, and so now you've gone. You kind of went, okay, we ran there. We saw what worked. We saw what didn't work, and then of course there's also a lot of how do you call it, hoops you got to jump through in order to even
get out
compete
there
at Bonneville, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of safety, a lot of tech rules, a lot of, being it was a sprint car, they've never seen one per se, a modern era sprint car before, so there was a lot of them figuring out what they were going to let us do, what we could get away with, and then a lot of just input on our part, be it just making it a little safer than your average sprint car, being it was going to be going quite a bit faster.
All right. Speaking of faster, how fast do you run on the ovals, and then how fast did you run on the salt?
I think out at Paris, you probably go around 120, 130.
That fast?
Yeah, probably when it's hooked up early on in the night, like qualifying, and then when you get out to the record on the oval, I believe is at Iowa. And it's like 148.
Wow.
And that's average speed. So I think the top speed was in the 160s.
So what was the goal at Bonneville?
The goal's the goal for us the first time we went there, the goal was just to to go faster than any other sprint car had gone before.
Okay.
And so we accomplished that, and then obviously 200 was the big nice round number that we really wanted to get to.
Now, is there an existing sprint car record that you can attempt to break?
The oval record, like I said, was 162, 164, somewhere in that area. And then I believe, just like I said, the guy Mike, I believe he's gone 178 in a nostalgia car. So we had to beat all that in order to be the world's fastest sprint car.
You're talking about Mike Cook, the president of SCTA.
No. I'm talking about Mike Cook. He races sprint cars at Ventura.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
different
Mike Cook. I've met like three.
It's actually Mike the Cook.
Yeah,
he
Mike
doesn't know his
last
last.
Yeah.
He cooks burgers. And stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the PJ North.
Yeah.
Tube steak specials. Yes.
Damien, you're going back up there this summer. I know you went 194, so you're pretty close to your mark that you want to go. But you went up there, you learned a bunch of stuff. Don't have a bunch of we see those 400 or 500 mile an hour cars. They got like a busload of engineers. You're just figuring this thing out on your own. Now you've come back. You're going to remodify the body a little. What are some of the things you're looking at changing for this year? And when are you going to be up there?
I mean, we're going to go, if everything works out, we're going to go to El Mirage on the 17th and the 18th. They have a 2-day show up there. We're gonna do some test runs, and I don't know how. I'm not sure how fast we'll try to go just yet. We're gonna try out the body work and the different things that we did. And then we're working on the motor a little bit with Shaver Engines. He's gonna work on that and just tune it up, make it a little bit easier to drive, a little softer per se for the salt, be it so slick, and just little things like that. I can't wait for everyone to see it. We'll be sure to let you guys know when you'll see it, but it's going to have a whole new look, and I'm excited about it.
All right, now you're going to be trying to get into the 200 mile an hour club now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in order to get into there's a lot of rules to get into the 200 mile an hour club.
You got to break a record. You got to go over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, and then
what class do they have you running in?
Well, I don't have a class. So you have to.
You got a lot of classes, just all low.
Yeah. You have to. I think they have a lot of rules. You have to run like 2 or 3 years with more than 3 cars or something to form the class.
Okay.
So for now, we're just trying to, get the time slip that says we went over 200, and then if
you go 200, we'll make you a speed scene 200 mile an hour.
You guys can make me a jacket, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Just
but
speed scene,
Damien,
200 mile an hour.
At 194, I know that you got up there quite a bit. And you spun out, 3 times?
Oh, yeah, they finally.
How did that feel as opposed, because you're used to running on, ovals and spinning out and doing all.
Well, he's used to going sideways, but this is not intentional.
Yeah, I guess that was wide open out there doing some big old loops, huh?
Oh, yeah, big loops. I mean, the loops took, I don't even 40 yards. You just sliding. Yeah, it was long, big slides. It wasn't a lot of twitching around like a normal sprint car. But once you do the first one, it's almost like a roller coaster ride. You just want to do it again, But, and obviously you got your fingers crossed a little bit that it doesn't flip over or do anything bad like that. But it actually wasn't a bad ride.
Keep it rubber side down, shiny side
Well,
up.
of course, the first time you'd been there and had to go through a lot of the process to even get on the salt. And I think by the time you really made your attempts, the salt wasn't in that good a shape and had a lot of ruts. And that's a little narrow tire on that car.
Yeah, the narrow tires of it, it's more per se, I think, to cut through the salt, because the salt, it probably reminds me of more like running on slushy snow.
Interesting.
And that's really more. That's the one thing I didn't know when I went there, and I didn't realize that people didn't tell me was it was going to be as slick as it was, and that would prove to be the biggest challenge. And by day 5, like Don said, the track was rutted up, and it was it gets grooves going down to the track, and as you're trying to go 200 in the short car, it gets them ruts, and it really tosses the car around. And when, like I said, we got up to 190-ish area, and there was sometimes I'd be getting up to 175, and I'd have to lift and get, it would fall all the way back to 165, 160-ish, and then I'd have to try to, in a shorter distance, run it back up to try to get to 200, and it would get pretty sketchy, but it was a lot of fun.
What kind of RPM were you turning to 194?
Well, we tried all different kinds of RPMs, right there at the end, the last 3 runs when I was spinning out, and there was times we went through there like eight grand, and then there was times we would only go through that 6,500. We were trying to play around to figure it out, and neither one of them really worked out. Obviously.
Got a 90-inch car out there. I mean, you go look at some of those other cars, so they're like 25 feet long, aren't they?
Is there a parachute on this car?
Yeah, there's a parachute.
Because normally you don't have those on sprint
normally
cars.
you don't have it. And I actually, we were making, we were going, those when they go to Bonneville, they'll run out there and go probably, one car will go maybe twice a day, the big streamliners and the fast cars.
Right.
And we went out there, we were going like 5 times a day. And they were kind of the announcer guys. They were kind of freaking out because they had never seen anything like that. We had a trailer, special trailer. We put it in, and we'd head back as fast as we could. And as you see the parachute there, I tried to. We were trying to go back as fast as we could because we wanted to get to 200. We only had so many days left, and I went about 175 and didn't pull the parachute because I didn't want to have to pack it back in there, and it didn't stop real good, and it about smoked the brakes off, and I went like an extra mile down the track. And, so from that point on,
they do work, huh?
Yeah. So from that point on, we decided we better pull the parachute.
Well, let's pull the parachute on this adventure and swing on over to Hot Rod Bob Beck and find out a little bit about some of his famous pickup lines.
Oh, yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Beck, and you've got gas tonight on Speed Scene Live. Welcome back. NSRA, the National Street Rod Association, has been around since the 70s. They started to organize the hot rodding craze that was starting a resurgence back in the 70s. It gave a place for guys with hot rods to go to, and not every hot rod is a coupe or a roadster. And at this year's NSRA Western Meet in Bakersfield, I picked out the pickups, and they weren't girls this time.
Oh, no, they're not that kind of pickup.
No, there were some great pickups. Now, they moved the year up that can come into the show this year, so we got some of the later model vehicles. This is a mid-50s Chevrolet pickup truck. Short bed, it is a sweet piece. It was purple and yellow. The traditional hot rods. This is what was out there when they first started. Model A Roadster pickup truck. High boy style, no fenders. They were cool. This one powered by a small block Chevy. Now, up from the Ventura area, this was Butch from Roman Relics. He drove up there with his Chevy pickup truck. It's suede. That's done. This is not an incomplete truck. This is done, and it's been this way for years. He drives it all over the place.
How do you clean suede? How does that work?
You just paint over the dirt, right?
The dirt, yeah. No, same way you do on regular paint. It's just not shiny.
Oh, okay.
It's paint with a flattening agent in it.
I got you.
Now, before the F-100s came about, the Ford F-1s were out.
Yeah.
And this is a fine example, early 50s, chopped top, cool truck, and the rear fenders are widened just a bit to clear the big meats in the back.
And I think those hood louvers are not original, right?
Yes, they are, but they had chrome around them. They had a strip around them when they were
how
new.
about it?
Yep.
I did not know that. They're functional.
They are functional.
What do you know?
But that's one of the early F1s. Here's another mid-50s Chevy pickup. Now, this truck came into existence in 1955. The cab stayed through about 59, but they changed the front fenders and the hoods, made them dual quad headlights and so forth. This is the 55. There were 2 trucks in 1955.
Two trucks.
Two trucks. This was one of the trucks from 55 Chevrolet's mid-year model.
Huh.
And then we'll show you some of the earlier ones in a little bit. You go back a little back to the 30s. Here's a Chevy pickup truck. I mean, they were cool. I mean, guys, form and function. They're cool looking and they haul. This is a Ford. Now, I got a friend that had one of these with one of those big Ford grills on it, and we used to tell him it was an Etzel pickup truck.
Yeah, sure. The shape's about the same, isn't it?
Big grill.
Yeah.
This full-fendered Ford pickup is cool. Now, here's 3 generations of Chevy pickups. Now, you see the one on the end, same cab as the ones we saw earlier. This has got the quad headlights. That makes it not a 1958-59 model. Right alongside it, you got a 30s vintage Chevy pickup, and then a 70 or 68, 70 early short bed.
Man, oh
Another
man.
nice Chevy. Look at all that grill area.
Yeah.
I mean, you can cool anything with that thing. It actually almost looks like one of those Chevron cars smiling at you as you go down the street. Another traditional style or rat rod style Ford pickup truck. Roadster pickup. They didn't really have them back then, but this one's made into one. Here's a nice Chevy pickup truck. And these were kind of straight up and down, all work trucks. No one expected people to build them. After the F-100s of 53 to 56, they came out with the square trucks. This is a 1957 Ford.
I didn't realize that they went to that square body that soon.
Yeah, 1957 was the first year, and it's a single headlight truck.
Yeah, so 58 or so.
57.
Did they go
58 went to quad headlights.
Yeah,
looks like the
everybody did,
T-Bird
didn't it?
styling.
Sure.
Here's another Chevy pickup, chop top, sitting down nice and low. And a Studebaker.
Oh,
they
that's
made some
pretty.
really stylish trucks back in the day. This has got a chop top. It's rounded. The body mods are minor. This is pretty much the way the trucks came.
Dang, man.
Not quite that low, though. Here's another one of those F1 series trucks. And here's the truck that went for Chevrolet from 1948 or 47, I believe, to 1955. They changed the grills a little bit, but it was the same basic body. And this was the up to early 1955, shared the body with GMC and Chevrolet. And then the other trucks that we were looking at a little while ago replaced this one in mid-55.
And I think this was called the Advanced Design, right? That was the name of this series of trucks. I believe.
Well, it could have been the other one. Yeah.
Okay.
They got away,
my
made it more
first-
formal function.
My first vehicle ever was a 1948 GMC pickup.
Yep.
Obviously not as pretty as that. And that was when I was 16 years old. That was the first car I ever bought.
They were stout trucks.
And great truck. Loved that truck. Turned it into a death trap with a lot of money and hard work.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, you know what GMC stands for.
Got more chrome.
That's the one.
Nice.
Got more class.
Is that what it is? Oh, here's another one of those Chevys.
Get more
with all-
cash.
Yeah, get more cash, yeah. Lots of chrome, lots of grill. This one's, instead of using chrome and replating it, they painted it like a silver metallic. And it really looked good against the yellow body of that truck. Now, I don't want to lead the Mopar guys out. Here's a late 60s Dodge.
How about it? This reminds me, man, short story. A buddy of mine and I, we were driving from Fairbanks to Anchorage, Alaska in a mid-60s Dodge truck, almost exactly like this. It was brown. The guy had done a front wheel bearing job on it, forgot to put grease on the bearings.
Oh!
So midway in the middle of nowhere, the truck smokes both the front bearings, and we're just stuck. You know, there's hundreds of miles with no civilization.
For miles and miles,
That's
there's
a
nothing
lot
but
of-
miles and miles.
Kind of like L.A.
Yeah.
You became bear food? No, you're still here.
Yeah, almost moose food. Yeah.
Yeah, here's another one of those Etzel nose pickup trucks. This one's in suede. And then we take that late 40s, fills in the grill part on the hood, gives it a whole different character, then molds the headlights into the fenders instead of having them sit on top.
That's nice.
Really good look. And it had a later model bed on the back made to fit the body. Really looked cool, and blue suede. Traditional Model A pickup truck, sitting up high, high boy style, a coupe or closed cab pickup.
Oh, yeah.
Now take the 32 to 34 pickup truck, channel it over the frame, you got a cool looking truck.
Yeah, buddy.
This one in bare metal.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, you got to have that rat rod look there.
Yeah.
Oh, I
One
love
of
the
classic
stock appearance
40s.
of this one. Yeah.
41 Ford pickup truck.
That looks clean.
That is sweet and clean. And, you know, a lot of these trucks, full creature comforts, carpeted, air conditioning, automatic, power brakes, disc brakes. Of course, most of
windshield
the Fords had Chevys.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, they were built Ford tough with a bunch of Chevy stuff. But it was a great weekend up at Bakersfield. 3 days of rods, customs, and more. And I just figured I'd show you the pickup trucks because, hey, they're cool, they're different, and you always see them on there.
Man, and what was the name of that event, Bob?
It was the National Street Rod Association, Western Nationals, NSRA. Happens every May in Bakersfield. And I think, let's see, my number was 1,255. I think the highest number I saw was a little over 1,700.
It's a lot of vehicles.
A lot of cars.
Wow.
Hey, Bob, I got one for you. My daughter's 13 years old. She's kind of a motorhead, junior dragster driver.
Yeah.
She came to me last week and said she wanted an old 60s style pickup truck, lowered, white, with some powder blue accents. So I was kind of thrilled. So I got to find one, start working on it. I got a couple years to get it ready when she gets her license. But nice segment
It's
there.
cool,
But
cool.
And you're going to be a pickup truck family because your son drives a pickup, you drive a pickup, the whole family. You'll be able to get out there and haul some hay.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're farmers in Whittier.
Some pickups are made to haul, and yours haul it.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, Donnie Couch has a great interview with Paul Lee, also Robert Height. That's right, John Force last week. Robert Height this week. The Pools be in next.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like Correct Link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Currie rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at currieenterprises.com. Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT, M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Hi, this is Dragster Jeff Kreider, and when I'm not drag racing, I'm watching Speed Scene Live.
I'm Gary Selzy, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Hi, I'm Dominic Selzy, and you're watching Speed Scene Live.
Hi, my name's Giovanni Selzy, and you're watching Speed Scene Live, and my dad's all washed up.
What?
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.
Welcome back to the show, Speed Scene Live. My name is Lucky. I've got Hot Rod Bob back. Right over here, I've got Donnie Couch, Bruce Barker. We've got Damian the Demon Gardner. I have to get into that nickname in a second. I got to remind you, Florida Street Outlaws happening Orlando, May 17th. Coming up on the show, we've got Cammie Edelbrock next week to talk about the upcoming NMCA West event at Pomona. We've also got engine builder Paul Williams is going to be, we're doing a segment there. We're building a really stout 406 for Dynamite's Nova. And Paul Williams is going to walk us through that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And Unlimited Products has a really cool line of fiberglass body parts. We've got a new front bumper for the Nova that has a built-in spoiler that really looks cool. We're going to show you some of that stuff. We've been using their stuff for years. Dynamite's got fenders and hoods from Unlimited, so you can check them out in the vendor area at NMCA Pomona, just like you can Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, and Aeromotive Fuel Systems. Now, Damian, the Demon, I mean, you know, with a name like Damien, you're kind of already, pushing the boundary there.
Yeah,
you know,
there's an Omen reference in there somewhere.
Yeah. What's the? Or is it just the Demon, or is it the Green Demon?
No, the car's the Green Demon, and then Demon would be, I guess, what some of the fans call me. So, yeah.
Where did that come from?
Oh, well, like you just said, the Omen, the this, the that. My mom named me Damien, so that was wasn't from the Omen. It was The Exorcist. But everyone dated it to the Omen. So from the time I was little, I was the
spit up avocados.
I was the devil child or something like that.
I wonder if it was though. I was thinking. I think the sequel to the Omen was called Damien Omen 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was argued.
Wow. Trivia there, Bruce. Good.
Yeah. It's the last time I'll have an answer for anything.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to let you answer anything.
Please make a note of it. What?
Yeah, we're not going to let you answer.
Hello. Now, this coming weekend, you will be at Ventura Fairgrounds, and then after that, you're coming right back down to Paris, and you're going to be racing sprint cars at Paris, correct?
Yeah, we'll be at Paris, and we're at Paris about 10 times. I'd call it our home track, and we venture around Santa Maria, Watsonville, Calistoga, all over up the West Coast here, and. So, if you go to USAC CRA Facebook page, you can check that out, or go to USAC.com, USACCRA.com. Any one of those three, you can kind of check it out, see where we're going to be. Check out my Facebook page, Damian Gardner. I'll be letting you know where we're going to be at and what's going on. You can keep up with the Bonneville car, nice. as we build it and as it comes together. And, you can just see what's going on there and stay in touch with us.
Now, this show enjoys going down to the Industry Hills in promoting the Speedway Motorcycle Group race that they have down there, and it's a very small, tight track. But a couple times they've had some of the sprint cars during the halftime go out onto the track and do some exhibition runs. Donnie, were those like vintage sprint
old
cars?
Vintage cars, from the Trent Shoring collection out there, and really nice cars. I'd be afraid to be running those on a track. They're like jewelry. Those old cars and a lot of history.
I'd be afraid to have you driving those cars too.
Hey, you're talking to the Media Challenge champion.
Yes.
Okay. If you want to show it, Bruce?
That's right. He's got his own hero cards made out.
Look at this.
Already. Yeah.
How do you like that, Alex? You watching the show, I hope?
That's now, didn't you talk to Robert Height at that Frank Hawley drag racing experience?
He was my coach, and I was on his team. So Bruce, if you roll that little deal, and we'll talk more about my win.
Yeah. Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. I know it's April. This isn't April Fool's Day. I'm in a fire suit.
Robert Height's coaching me. We're here at Fontana Dragway, right? Auto Club.
That's right.
Dragway,
Don't forget
right?
them. Don't
Thanks
forget
to
them.
your sponsor, we're back out here racing. But today, most importantly, we're with Frank Hawley's driving school, running these dragsters. Very cool, Robert.
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome that we're out here at Fontana. We've got a racetrack now back in Southern California. They just built this wall, and they've got a full slate of on the schedule for this whole year. And cannot believe this guy has been around drag racing all these years and never been down the drag strip, and he did perfect, and he was blown away. He was pretty excited. He looked like John Force coming out of that car.
Well, nobody could be that excited. But, hey, if you see the replay camera, I was fist pumping down there, Robert. You've been proud of me. But unbelievable respect for what drivers go through. And I'm not even talking going down the track, sitting in the staging lanes, ready to run, and staring down that track at the shutoff area. It looks pretty short. Don't know how you guys do it going 300.
Well, it's, you're sitting in the stands, and these cars look easy to drive. You finally get behind the seat, and I went to Frank Hawley's school, 10, 12 years ago, and I was blown away by what it takes to drive a Super Comp car. And got a whole new appreciation for the sport, and it's tougher than what it looks like. I'd love to bring our funny cars out here. I wish they'd let us do that.
Well, we ran our nostalgia cars here years ago. Hopefully, we'll be back. But, hey, a lot of fun. Jeff Arend out here, Jack Beckman, of course, Robert Height. You guys get a weekend off. You come out here. It's in your blood. We appreciate you being here and appreciate you being on Speed Scene Live.
Well, thanks for having me. Hopefully this weekend I'm going to bring my daughter out and run her junior dragster.
All right, look for that new thread, the next generation, right?
You got it. She's excited.
All right, he's Robert Height. I'm Donnie Couch. You're watching Speed Scene Live.
I don't know, Donnie. That might be an unfair advantage to have Robert Height, current NHRA Top Fuel Funny Car champion, giving you pointers as you go down the
at
race.
an auto club track too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where else?
It's just the skill was there.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say.
I got to go defend that title next year. They're going to have it every year. Right now, the trophy we're taking around like the Stanley
trophy,
Cup deal. So we've allowed Chip Ganassi to take it to the Indy 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
You gonna bring it in next time, Alex, on the show?
Who's Alex?
Yeah.
Well, Alex.
Oh, the girl I beat in the final.
Oh, yeah. The poor little defenseless girl.
Oh, yeah, I beat up on the little girl.
By the way, that poor little defenseless girl is now the current reigning #1 points leader at PSCA Street Muscle class.
Dang.
So she's been doing pretty well.
Hey, and she's going to run in NE2, and it's not bad to look at either.
Getting a license and an altered. She was out there.
Yeah, an 860 altered. So, hey, now that car was an automatic that you were driving, the dragster, the Frank Hawley racing experience.
Yes.
And we highly recommend Frank Hawley School for anybody, regardless of your level, whether you're super qualified or whether you're Donnie or anywhere in between. What do you say? You had a chance to talk to a gentleman that's been involved with McLeod Clutches.
Involved with it, he owns it. But I found out he didn't just buy the company; he was with Bonafani and all his life almost, and ran that company. So he didn't just buy a company. This guy knows clutches. So he drives the Worsham family funny car, and we were down there last Tuesday night. Of course, the Worshams have a nice bar and a bowling alley at the shop, so it was a nice little interview. Lasted 5 hours. Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. We're in Orange, California today with Paul Lee, driver of this McLeod Clutches AA Fuel Funny car. Paul, this is quite a ride from your alcohol days.
It sure is. It's a lot different, a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot less forgiving, but it's a heck of a lot more fun.
Now, Paul, you're the kind of a numbers crunching guy, and CFO, run big companies. We know, you're president of McLeod Clutches. Normally, those guys are out golfing and stuff on the weekend, doing their yachts. What drives you to hop in this bad boy?
Well, to me, funny cars are the ultimate hot rod. I mean, if you're a car guy, you have to love drag racing, right? 2 cars going at it, 10,000 horsepower. Doesn't get any better than that. I mean, it's so exciting, and the adrenaline is pumping so much. It's so much fun. There isn't anything better on planet Earth as pushing a gas pedal on 10,000 horsepower funny car. Nothing better.
Yeah, well, we know that. We've seen you. Of course, you're out there on a limited schedule right now, running with the Worsham family out there, which they have a pretty strong team, and it's based right around the corner from your clutch shop. A lot of our fans don't know it out there on Speed Scene Live, but you've been around this clutch industry a lot longer than when you took over McLeod Clutches.
Yeah, I used to be the CFO of Bonafani Friction, which is the major clutch supplier of all the top fuel funny car and pro stock teams, and most of the alcohol teams as well. So I was the CFO for them for many years, and the opportunity came about 6 years ago to purchase McLeod Clutches, and I pursued it, and now I'm out here in Orange County and enjoying it.
Well, it's a little different change of climate from, Philly and Jersey, but hey, we'll take another visitor from back east. But hey, one thing we want to talk about is we know you got 3 races under your belt this year. How many more do you have in this car?
Well, we're planning on doing Sonoma and then Seattle. Hopefully we'll do Indy. And certainly Las Vegas, which ties in with the SEMA show, and Las Vegas at the end of the year, and come back for the end of the year for the World Finals of Pomona.
So it ties in with the SEMA show, so that's a write-off, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Hey, we know those CFO guys are working at 24/7 here, but hey, alcohol days. I mean, you ran pretty good on the East Coast, Division I. You tore it up pretty good back there, and then to come out here, you're doing pretty decent and holding your own. I think you beat a guy named John Force or something this year already.
Yeah, we have been pretty fortunate against his team. The last 2 round wins I have were against John, actually, last year and this year, which is fine with me. But yeah, we did an alcohol funny car for many years. I started driving in 1988, so I have a lot of laps of alcohol funny cars under my belt, and actually. They're actually a little bit harder to drive than these fuel funny cars. They're a lot more mental challenging to drive. These are more of a physical exercise. They're both fun. They're both different. This one's a lot less forgiving, so you need to be on top of things a lot more with here. But the alcohol funny cars, certainly all the years, I did it for 18 years, so it was certainly a great training ground to drive one of these cars.
Well, I've always said that if you can drive an alcohol funny car and hit the shift points and leave at a certain RPM, and that you could drive anything out there. And you've certainly proven it stepping into this 10,000 horsepower nitro burning funny car.
Pretty much it's true. I mean, I drove alcohol funny cars for 18 years, and the concentration, the hitting, leaving the starting line correctly at the right RPM, so your crew chief doesn't give you a hard time. And
wait a minute, what's he saying? Crew chief give drivers hard times?
Yeah,
come on.
Shift points. I mean, yeah, it's a very, very challenging car to drive, and I agree 100%. I did it a long time. If you can drive an alcohol funny car, you can pretty much drive anything else in the sport. I mean, there's a lot little differences with the fuel funny car of being less forgiving as far as wandering around the track. You can't do that with one of these. You really need to keep on top of the steering from start till finish, which is something you didn't necessarily have to do with the alcohol funny car, but this is mandatory.
Yeah, getting up on the wheel, I say, huh?
Yeah, you definitely have to drive this thing, and you can't let it down for 1 second.
Hey, he's Paul Lee. I'm Donnie Couch. You're watching Speed Scene Live.
Donnie, great interview, and I heard you and Damien talking about funny car back there. What's the story on that?
Yeah.
Well, Damien and I met at the March meet, and he invited me down to Paris.
Yeah.
And, had a few cocktails in me, and I said, hey, you win, and we're in the podium there getting pictures with you. We'll get you into a nostalgia funny car. Seems to like those, so... somehow, some way, I'm going to get Damien in there, which is...
Is this the part right here, Bruce?
I'm not. I think this is just part of an interview.
Yeah,
it's just, it was just a really...
No, it was at the end of the day when we were on the stage there.
Yeah,
but,
he actually texted me. He was probably at a bar drinking, having some cocktails.
So I don't think that's a binding contract.
Yeah, no, actually, I have the text. He texted me, hey, if you win tonight, would you like to drive a funny car?
He's already sought legal counsel.
Yeah, I already have. Actually, I already know where I stand. That's why I was bringing it up.
You know what? I'd be... I'm working in that direction. I think he's got a big interest in it, and I think somebody with his concentration in a sprint car would do a hell of a job in a nostalgia funny car.
I think he should mention who his current sponsors are, so that if one of them wants
bring them along.
Yeah,
warn them.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the Alexander guys there with the 4 car, the dirt sprint car, and Scott Sales, Ken there. Appreciate those guys, and and then the Bonneville car. It took a lot of people to put this together. A lot of special parts to be kind of a one-off car. I got to thank Schoenfeld and Franklin Weld Wheels, Moss Brothers. all these guys, Shaver Engines, ARP. Just took a lot of people just making some special stuff, little one-off stuff, and not a lot of it, but I appreciate all these guys getting together and helping me out, and just doing what they can for this special project. And it's all these little people that are helping me through my career that makes it happen. And and guys like you doing the show, we appreciate it. We appreciate having us on, and hope you just keep it up.
Cool. Donnie, where are you going to be this weekend?
Hey, I'm going to be with Bob Beck.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
We are.
Irwindale Event Center. We can't go Irwindale Raceway anymore.
Sure we can.
We'll be at the Moon Eyes Mother's Day car show. I'll be doing Bang Shift Live, brought to you by Stiff Printing.
Nice.
They're going to sponsor the show, right?
Yeah.
And Bob will be announcing, and the Pinup Girls are going to be changing there in the tower.
Now, Stith Printing makes fantastic T-shirts, all different kinds. Are really cool. And what's really nice about their shirts? They have special shirts for the ladies too. So if you want to buy your significant other something kind of nice, it doesn't have to be just a guy's shirt in a smaller size. No, you can get something really good. They make excellent quality, fantastic graphics.
Cool. Nice.
They got 2 XLs and sewed them together for me, so I appreciate it.
Does it say Coleman on the bottom of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Moon Eyes, great event. If you can make it there, you'll love it. Rat rods, car shows, drag racing, pinup girls wandering around, rockabilly bands, Donnie Couch, Bob Beck. What more could you possibly want in one
Bruce
Saturday
Parker.
afternoon?
Yeah. Brucey.
I could want me. What more could I possibly want than me? I don't know.
Damien, we want to thank you for being on the show tonight. It's been a real honor, and it's going to be fun to watch your career and fun to see where that Bonneville car develops.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and you guys need to come out and check us out there at Paris or Ventura, wherever you can get out to. And if you guys do, let me know, and I'll make sure Don pays for it.
Don't make any promises to him. Don't make any promises to this guy.
We would like to thank, of course, Loud Pedal Productions, of course, USAC for providing all this great racing. If you've never been to a sprint car race, if you've never had the opportunity, go on down. You're going to love it. Actions, crashes, banging, tons of cars going super fast. What'd you say, 160 something miles per hour around the Paris track?
Turning.
Yeah,
sliding. Cars going up on the corners. It's just incredible. It's so much fun to watch. It's a great night of entertainment. And, of course, hey, you got to cheer on the Demon and the Green Demon.
That's it.
There you have it. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll be back 1 week from right now, right here at Speed Scene Live.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.